Greetings and welcome back to CERN for Dummies Part 14. Mandela Effect, Geography of the World Has Changed. If you're just now finding us, please go to the comments and start with video 1, because this is obviously video 14. We're now outside the box, Fish Out of the Water series. So, as we talked about in the previous video, these beings, pop in and out of people. We're not saying that every people has this problem, but if you happen to be one of these people that might be experiencing this problem, in order to heal yourself, what you have to do is you have to find the box where they are, the orbs, where they're in. And you can find them tapped into your brain. These will be one in each area of your brain where an orb likes that part of the brain. For example, food. People have food addictions. These beings will attract themselves and tap into food addictions. Pleasures. Anger. Fear. Fear's a big one. They love fear. Libido. You name it. They tap into it. But when you look at an orb that may not be there one day, it'll just return another day. That's what I talked about. The Bible also says you must pray constantly. Why does Paul in the New Testament say you must pray constantly? He says that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. This is alluding to a higher spiritual truth. He's talking about these beings that come into your body and they take control of your mind. And you have to pray constantly to get these beings out of your mind. And he's saying that my spirit is so willing, but my flesh is so weak. That he's just describing exactly what we're going through today with these beings. They pop into your head and they just take control. And you have to pray constantly to get rid of them. But there might be an easier way. What you do is you must open up the box that they're in. Open it up. Go into meditation. Visualize in your brain. They're in a box. They're in this grid pattern. You see this in front of you? Oh, shoot. You didn't just do that, did you? Alright. So, you see this grid pattern, this box? This is a box. And these beings live on this grid, and they pop into your brain. And so you have to find them in the box in your brain, and you say, I command you to open up. You can say in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, I command you to get out. Or whatever religion it is you hold truth to. You basically make this being leave. One way is you open up the box and you lay it out like I have here in front of you. Heal by patching it up. Then the energy and the patterns will begin to appear. Then the energy flows as relaxed as possible, like watching a gentle creek come down a stream. The energy pattern furthers. The patching, repair work, everything that's needed is done when you tap into this. Then, in a moment, it begins to take shape. Tell yourself to relax one more time. And then a final gust of energy patterns will rush in and light up. Then turn the light. Then the light is at the end of a tunnel, and it leaves, and it's on its own. And you give it a ever so gently push out of your brain. You get this thing out of your head. And that's how you get rid of what we call a hijacking orb. These orbs go into your brain. They hijack you. You break open the box. And this is a picture of them leaving your brain. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And they're going to go back to their grid. And they're going to go back home. You have to pray constantly, as Paul in the Bible has said, to get rid of this junk. If you have garbage in your house, the rats will feed, and that's what they do. So, unfortunately, this is an ongoing temporary fix, as Paul says. You have to pray constantly. You get rid of them, they come back. You get rid of them, they come back. You operate constantly. It's just over and over and over again. It's a temporary fix. What we need to do is find a better solution, which is why I've created the negotiation tables. We can go that in a little bit later. But getting back on track. So, when you're back in this meditative state and you're able to break through, then after a moment or two, in this brief instant, there's this energy pattern that appears. If you can get the orb, all the crap out of your brain, the garbage, the rats, once your mind is cleared, you see an energy pattern. It begins to take shape into an existence that may jive with you or may not. If it doesn't jive with you, then this is something that clearly does not want you to make it leave. And this could be another example of a hijacking entity in your brain. So, in order to get rid of the rat infestation, sorry, that's a funny word. To get rid of the rats, you gotta clean the place out. You gotta throw out the garbage. You gotta keep it clean. The frightening thing is once you clear out the garbage, you clear everything out, and depending what you tap into, what realm you go into, there's a realm where there's binary code and there's patterns and energy, and this is a program that writes code for life like we write program for computers. But this is in essence life. This is what we're dealing with. This is this artificial intelligence, getting back to the main purpose here. This is how we, yes, you and me, can control our reality. We can control, and we do create. People don't realize this, but you really do create the reality around you. I don't know if I should say this, but there's a movie called The Secret. They skim the surface. There's like 10 layers to it, and they tap into layer 1 and 2. And but anyway, so the initial ingredient to everything is really the same. Each person puts in their own twist on it, their own perspective, their own feelings. Where am I at? Oh, I'm only at 7 minutes. God, it feels like 30 minutes. Boy, I'm tired, and I think we're done here. I don't think Oh yeah, the orbs. Okay, I'll do that. This is from memory. Excuse me, I need to take a drink real quick here. So if you find these orbs, I talked about earlier how you pop open the box and everything, and you make them leave. But let's say that doesn't work. There's a thing that's called creating a quantum brain, a super brain. Use any word you want. What you have to do is the brain, this first part's going to sound a bit bizarre, but you picture a gigantic like plate of steel going through your brain just below your eyebrows, so it's below the pineal gland as it goes through your brain, and it just slices through your whole brain and separates you from this limited three-dimensional reality. And then the minute you achieve the slice, then you lift it up maybe an inch, maybe 3 inches, just a little bit, and you just give it some breathing room, and your brain just goes, I can finally breathe. For such a long time, you've prevented me from breathing. And then this brain is this tightly mesh. If you really look at it, it's like a bunch of poop inside the skull. We'll take that poop and spread it out and create these beautiful like tunnels and chambers and these open areas or these tunnels and expand your brain out a good, I'd say 12 inches at least. Create this big magnificent Disneyland roller coaster music park thing, whatever. Expand your brain and just open up to the universe and go, now I can breathe. Now I can feel. And then it's so easy to just go into your brain, and you can examine your brain and go through and pick out all these hijackers, and you can get rid of them. When I first discovered it, I was told that the ones who are behind this said to me, this could ruin it for us, meaning them, ruin it for them. And they're terrified that you're going to have this knowledge, and they do not want you to have it. So now that you have it, I hope you use it. God bless. If you have any questions, send them to Preston Byron, which is PrestonByron at yahoo.com. God bless. Peace be with you. And good night.